and welcome to another teaching from TorahFamily.org. We are a family-based ministry that believes the whole Bible stands forever, that all of it is based in the Torah, and all of it promotes the Torah. Please visit us at TorahFamily.org for more teachings like this one. We hope this teaching helps you learn and grow in the faith. Men of Yahweh, Chapter 1, Teaching Our Children. Deuteronomy chapter 11. Teach them to your children, talking about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. Write them on the doorframes of your houses and on your gates, so that your days and the days of your children may be many in the land that Yahweh swore to give your forefathers, as many as the days that the heavens are above the earth. I remember when coming to Torah, how everything was just different for me. Besides the obvious of the law still being applicable to our lives, I realized that I needed to be the one who taught my children the Scriptures. For so long, I relied on the church to teach them. Yet, suddenly it hit me. That's my job. Oh, we prayed with them at night and over our food. We taught them what was right and what was wrong. But I never once had a Bible study with my children. I had taught children's church, youth groups, singles classes, adult Sunday school classes, and preached from pulpits at churches of all sizes. But I never had a Bible study with my own children. Now, get this. When I did my first Bible study with our children, I was nervous. I don't even know what I was nervous of, but I was. I remember that day like it was yesterday. Our lesson was on loving your neighbor as yourself, and I used the parable of the Good Samaritan as our text. My children were 8, 4, and 2 at the time. We all sat down in a circle on the floor, and then I read the story to them. I elaborated on it and used modern examples of the story, on their level, that they identified with. And then the fun part came. We acted it out. Of course, I was the Good Samaritan's donkey, but they loved it. After that, I had printed out some coloring pictures of the story, and all 4 of us colored and discussed the story together. We then, in light of Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 20, put our pictures up on the hallway wall. It was a constant reminder of our lesson throughout the week. This actually became a tradition that we maintained for a long time. Now, I'm not saying that you should do your study time with your children the way I did, even though it was a lot of fun. The point is that we need to spend time with them in the Word. They need to hear the Word from you. They need to hear you pray. They need to know that you are the spiritual leader of the house. You might be saying, yeah, but I'm not good at that. I don't know that much about the Word. Or, I'm not that good at teaching children. No worries. Seriously. You don't have to be a Bible scholar or a trained educator to teach your children something in the Scriptures. Teaching is simply the act of relaying what you were taught. Take a few topics and dwell on them for a while. Start praying for insight on how to deliver one of those topics on your children's level. It won't take long, and you'll start getting a few ideas along the way. One thing can build on another, and the next thing you know, you'll have a small lesson ready to go. It doesn't have to be long. 5 to 10 minutes is perfect for young ones. Then, all you do is constantly give them small reminders of that lesson throughout the day. So, it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Actually, simple is good. Making it relative is the key. If your children are relatively young, take any story in the Bible that can have a basic, simple message and recant that story with stuffed animals. I've even used Legos before, and still do at times. My children enjoy making their own characters, and it brings the story home for them. If your children are teenagers, then you obviously don't want to use stuffed animals. However, as funny as it sounds, some young teenagers enjoy making the Legos as well. The key is to take stories from the Scriptures and modernize them for your teens just the same. Put them into parables that they can relate to. Will they know what you are doing? Of course. Will they get the message? You bet. Trust me when I say that I know it's not always easy, but it's always worth it. You can do this. This is something that is in you to do. You just don't realize it. Just as baby eagles are destined to fly, you are destined to lead your family. They may not be showing it to you, but deep down inside, they are screaming for you to lead the way. While the Sabbath is the best day to give your children an actual lesson, we should always seek opportunity in keeping the word fresh in their heart. As our verse says, teach them to your children, talking about them when you sit at home and when you walk along the road, when you lie down and when you get up. In order for us to do this, we have to be focused on the word ourselves. Remember, teaching is simply the act of sharing what you have been taught. If we are to constantly teach our children, that means we have to constantly be taught. We have to keep ourselves focused on the Word. Keep our ears attentive to what the Spirit is speaking to our hearts. The more we are attentive to learning from the Spirit, the more we will want to share what the Spirit has given us. Again, you can do this. You were called to do this. Will you make mistakes? Of course. Will you feel inadequate? You bet. Will your children laugh at you? I hope so. Let them see you laugh at you. Be real. Be the dad that you wished you had. If your dad was perfect, take that perfection to the next level. Make your children want to be like you. Start making memories that they will share with their children. The reality is this: we are at war. The enemy does not want you to follow the scriptures and teach them to your children. He will do all he can to get you away from this. He will sit on your shoulders for hours, browbeating you to show you every reason why you can't do this. He will get you focused on other matters. He will fight you with everything he has to keep you from taking the role Yahweh has given and called you to in teaching your children. Don't give in to the enemy. Pray for wisdom. Pray for the ability. Watch the Holy Spirit work through your weakness and develop it into a powerful strength. He can and he will if you let him. It all starts with taking that first step. Don't hesitate. Start walking in that role he has called you to, and watch the Spirit start working in you and through you. We hope you've enjoyed this teaching. Now, it's up to you to be a Berean and study it for yourself. That's the only way to grow. Until next time, Shalom.